Welcome to the Archive Network. I'm Aurelius, and with me, as always, Malik. We curate the Civilization Archive. Today, we open a new file, Byzantine Empire. Malik, you've had this one on your desk for a while. Imagine, if you will, a city alive with the scent of incense and the thunder of chariots. This was Byzantium, a place where cultures collided and history was about to change. The crossroads of continents, it was never merely a location. It was a statement. Here, empires would rise and fall, and the echoes of their ambitions would shape the world.
But let's not romanticize it too much, Aurelius. Beneath that incense and those grand visions, there were lives, real people navigating a turbulent existence. Greek colonists and Roman soldiers may have left their mark, but what about the traders and artisans? Their stories, often lost in the grand narrative, were just as vital in shaping this city.
Certainly, the human element is important, but we must recognize the strategic significance of its location. Perched between the Golden Horn and the Sea of Marmara, Byzantium was more than just a city. It was a vital gateway. This control over trade routes ensured its prosperity and influence. It allowed for the exchange of goods and ideas, something no mere market can achieve. In essence, the geography of Byzantium was as crucial as its people.
Aurelius, you keep saying prosperity as if it came without cost. Those bustling harbors weren't just thriving. They were also sites of intense competition and struggle. Merchants from Egypt and Syria filled the markets, yes, but they also faced the harsh realities of trade, taxes, piracy, and political turmoil. It wasn't just a playground for the elite.
Fair points. There was certainly chaos amid the commerce. Archaeological evidence reveals layers of life, from bustling markets filled with traders to the workshops where artisans crafted their goods. Each fragment of pottery and glass we uncover tells a story, a history of exchange, craftsmanship, and survival. But we also see the power structures that emerged, shaping lives and societies. It's a reminder that even in the midst of daily life, the tides of history are always shifting beneath the surface.
And those power structures often marginalized the very people who were building this vibrant city. The artisans and traders formed guilds, not just for protection, but as a response to their exploitation. They came together to support each other, to share resources and skills. Their voices were often drowned out by the landed elites who stored grain and built lavish villas. It's heartbreaking when you think about it. This was a society filled with disparities, where hard work was overshadowed by wealth and privilege.
The wealthy held significant power, but they also provided much-needed stability. The aqueducts and grand avenues we see today were part of a larger vision initiated by Constantine. He chose this city as his new capital in 330 CE, a decision that would reshape the very identity of the empire. Was it a gamble? Perhaps. But it was a calculated risk, one that demonstrated his ambition to unify and elevate the empire in ways we still study today.
A calculated gamble, but at what cost? The walls of Constantinople rose, yes, but they also stood as a barrier, symbolizing exclusion. While the city flourished with trade and culture, many outside its gates faced hardship and despair. The Edict of Milan from 313 CE may have granted freedom of worship, but it also marked the start of a time when dissenters found it increasingly hard to voice their beliefs. What about those voices? They matter too.
You have a point there. The edict did pave the way for the Christian Church to gain immense power. The Council of Nicaea in 325 CE was a vital moment. Debates over faith and doctrine created rifts that would last for centuries. This was the birth of a new society, one straddling ancient and modern worlds.
And while the Christian Church flourished, the common folk still struggled to get by. The land was shaped by unforgiving climate and geography. Droughts could wipe out a harvest, and disease was always lurking. Farmers worked from dawn to dusk, but they were often at the mercy of the elites who controlled the grain. It's heartbreaking to think that the empire's strength truly depended on the resilience and hard work of those very people who faced so many challenges just to survive.
True, the resilience of the people was crucial. But we can't ignore the political landscape that was shifting beneath them. By the end of the 4th century, tensions were brewing in the air. The Roman Empire split into eastern and western halves in 395 CE. This division altered everything, particularly for a city like ours, which was on the brink of greatness. Political intrigue and power struggles were about to reshape the future, and that's a reality we have to acknowledge.
And those tensions simmered, didn't they? With religious disputes bubbling over and deep social divisions festering, the city's strength was continually put to the test. The state's tightening grip often came at the expense of the very citizens who built it, leaving many feeling powerless. Constantinople may have been a beacon of order, but it was also a powder keg, filled with the hopes and fears of its people, just waiting for the smallest spark to ignite it all.
Yes, but from that chaos, a new civilization emerged. It was one that would shape the world for 1,000 years, laying foundations we still recognize today. The city stood ready for transformation, teeming with potential and ambition. Empires have a way of rising after conflict. They adapt, they grow, and they often become stronger than before. History teaches us that the ruins of yesterday can be the building blocks of tomorrow's greatness.
That's where we leave it for now. Part 1 of 5. Byzantine Empire is far from done. If you're new here, we're Aurelius and Malik, curators of the Civilization Archive, part of the Archive Network. Part 2 drops soon.